I woke up to 12 bright yellow violation notices plastered across my door. The HOA president had declared war over a community path that was partly on my land. It looked absurd, like some hostile bureaucratic art installation. Each slip cited a different infraction. My porch light was the wrong color temperature. A single fence picket had a small scratch. The most serious one accused me of unauthorized encroachment on the neighborhood walking trail with a blurry photo of the gravel edge by my yard. 12 fines, 12 threats, a clear message. Comply or be crushed. I stepped outside, and there she was, Margot, the HOA chair, standing on the very path in question, clipboard clasped to her chest like a shield. She offered a thin, joyless smile. "Full remediation is required by Friday," she stated, "or we proceed to liens." I tried reason. I sent a polite email outlining the minor, subjective nature of the issues. I brought fresh muffins to the next board meeting. I asked the neighbor to speak on my behalf. He just shook his head, whispering, "She remembers everything. I can't." The board, a panel of nervous silence, listened as Margot recited my violations with liturgical solemnity. The appeal was denied. The muffins went uneaten. That night, I seethed. The injustice was a physical heat in my chest. My grandfather's old advice surfaced in my mind. When they bury you in paper, dig your way out with better paper. So I dug. I pulled out the heavy closing folder from my home purchase, survey maps, title insurance documents, a scribbled note from the previous owner about a disputed walkway line. Under the harsh light of my desk lamp, I taped the official survey to the wall and traced the property boundary with my finger. And there it was, the shock that changed everything. According to the certified plat, the manicured community path along my western border extended a full 24 inches on my property for a length of nearly 40 feet. The HOA wasn't just maintaining a path, they were quietly squatting on my land. A fierce, quiet clarity replaced my anger. If Margot loved rules, we would play by them. But I would use the rule book she'd ignored: property law. First, I called the county records office. I inquired about any recorded easement for that path segment. The answer was definitive. None existed. The path's location was based on a handshake deal from the original developer, never formalized. Armed with this, I filed a boundary line affidavit with the county to formally assert my claim. Then I applied for a permit to install a low, decorative garden border, a row of short, ornamental posts exactly along my surveyed property line. When the surveyor came to place his bright pink flags, the neighborhood watched. Margot hovered, filming with her phone, muttering about defiance. I smiled and waved. The posts went in, set in concrete, tracing the true border. This action legally reclaimed my 2 feet of land, which inconveniently made that section of the path too narrow for the golf cart Margot used to patrol the neighborhood. I hung a small, polite sign on my side: "Private property boundary. Please respect." Margot detonated. She stormed with a fresh ream of violation forms. "You are obstructing association property. Remove this immediately." I kept my voice calm. Please provide the recorded easement document that grants the HOA use of this land. I'd be happy to review it." Neighbors emerged, phones discreetly raised. The atmosphere crackled. She called the police. 2 officers arrived. Margot launched into her performance. I presented the survey, the county statement of no easement, and my building permit. The senior officer reviewed them, then turned to Margot. "Ma'am, do you have a legal easement for this land?" She flushed. "We have decades of precedent and community rules." "Rules are deeds," he replied evenly. He looked at my documents again. "He's within his rights here." Undeterred, Margot summoned the HOA's own compliance inspector. The man arrived all business. He measured, checked the flags against the survey, examined my permit. He sighed, a sigh of pure professional fatigue. "Mrs. Vance," he said to Margot, "this path segment is on his property. Without a recorded easement, the association has no standing. These violations," he gestured to her clipboard, "are invalid." A neighbor snickered. Someone whispered, "Checkmate." Margot's final move was an impromptu emergency meeting in the cul-de-sac. Chairs appeared. A crowd gathered. She began rereading my 12 original violations, her voice trembling with outrage. Then I stepped forward. I held up the survey map for all to see. Then I played a recording on my phone. It was the voice of the county records clerk from my call, clear and impartial. "Our records show no easement granted for a walkway on that parcel." The crowd's energy shifted palpably. Heads turned from her to me. A neighbor who'd never met my eye before spoke up. "So we've been using his yard this whole time?" Another added, "Did the board know about this, Margot?" She stammered, "This is about upholding our community standards." I kept it simple. Standards are fine. Fining me for your mistake is not. The HOA inspector who had stayed cleared his throat. "I am rescinding all these violations. And, Mrs. Vance, for safety, your cart shouldn't use this narrowed section." A kid yelled, "No more golf cart!" Laughter broke out, nervous but real. A week later, a letter went to all residents. The path would be legally rerouted. All 12 violations were void. Margot was temporarily relieved of her duties pending a review. Her golf cart sat idle on her driveway. The new path crew arrived. Neighbors now waved from a respectful distance. One even returned my muffins with an apology. I planted lavender along my new border. The bees came. The evenings grew quiet. No more clipboards, no more surprise tickets. The best part, the whispers of fear turned into quiet smiles when people walked past Margot's house. She now takes the long way around, head held high, pretending the world hasn't quite shrunk to its proper size. People ask if I feel bad. I don't. I didn't cheat or scream. I read the map. I checked the facts. I pushed back with the one thing she couldn't bully, the truth. Every evening when I sit on my porch and watch the light fall along that tidy row of posts, I think of those 12 yellow tags. She tried to own me with petty violations. Instead, I reclaimed what was always mine with a property line. If you value stories where quiet research triumphs over noisy entitlement, show your support. Give this video a like, and for more narratives of factual victories, subscribe to Trending Tales Pulse. She fought with violation slips. I won with a surveyor's map.